Hi all, in this lecture we'll discuss about automatic speech recognition. Speech recognition is transformation of spoken language into text which is usually of orthographic form. The different things to be considered in case of automatic speech recognition can be summarized under the term context, which can be speech, speaker, target units, environment, etc. So it refers to what type of speech need to be recognized. So here you should be able to differentiate according to the different language that being spoken, whether it is a dialogue between two people, etc., or it should be able to differentiate between different speaking styles. So in all these cases, a human listener is able to distinguish between these points very easily. But in case of a machine, these things has to be taught. Another thing that need to be considered is the speaker itself. That is the information from different speaker. Like the speaker may be known to the system or may not be known to the system, etc. Still, the system should be able to easily convert it into corresponding text. And you should be able to include uncorporated speakers also, like in case of a forensic speech recognition system, the speaker is not aware that he is being transcribed into by using a system. The context also includes target units. That is, the speech recognition is difficult according to different target units. The number, the type, and complexity of target units. For example, it's easy to recognize digits spoken by a person, that is, digits from 0 to 9, whereas compared to the recognition of the continuously spoken English or Malayalam language, it is difficult compared to recognition of digits. So, target units also plays a great role in case of speech recognition. The environment plays a big role in speech recognition, as if there is a background noise or if there is noise in the transmission channels like telephone cables or telephone channels, etc., then that also creates problem that needs to be addressed. So all of these things taken together, it makes the speech recognition a very difficult task for a computer. There is a fundamental difference between the speech recognition done by a human being and a computer system. A human is able to understand or differentiate between the variances and invariances in the speech signal that in a speech signal. So here a computer has to be taught by for example, human will be able to differentiate between A and E, but in a computer we have to give proper rules, etc., to make it clear that which sound is the first one and which sound is the second one. Moreover, speech is not a discrete sort of entity. Speech is a continuous signal. So, if it is a discrete sort of signal, elementary sound can be uh, identified easily by a system, but it's a sequence of elementary sounds. So one sound may be linked to the other sound. So that also makes it very difficult for a computer system, instead of recognizing individual sound, it's always better to recognize a combination of sounds, so that it is going to give you more accuracy than recognizing individual words like diphones, triphones, etc. Two sounds or three sounds together, that will be the better option to recognize. And that depends upon your the way the articulation, and that articulation also depends upon the surrounding sounds. So what it means is the task is very complex. So in order to recognize a speech. In human speech recognition, speech is actually not recognized, but it is directly interpreted. That is, it will make sense while listening and translate. But in a computer system, it will first translate and then it will try to make sense out of it. So there is a fundamental difference between human speech recognition and a speech recognition by a computer system. So in a human being, it will make sense while listening and then it will translate. For example, the sentence recognize speech and recognize speech. These two will be uh, the speech signal will be almost similar, but the first is make having a good sense, and this is not at all having a sense. So usually, it human being will be translating the sentence to the spoken sentence to this only. Whereas machine speech recognition is done like with the help of explicit and implicit knowledge about the speech production process, how exactly the speech is produced, then typical examples of speech signal. So actually it should have examples, and it should have an inventory of sounds to be recognized, then a sequence of units like a dictionary, a grammar, etc. All these things are required for a machine to translate from speech to corresponding text. The approach taken by a system to do automatic speech recognition is pattern recognition. It compares the speech with trained patterns. So this is not done on the physical level of the speech signal, but the speech signal is first transformed into a set of features, and on top of that features, this pattern recognition is applied. That is, if for example, usually done method is the speech signal is divided into 20 to 30 milliseconds units, and in each of these units the patterns are sorry the features are identified, so it will form a feature vector. So in each of this unit there can be around 20 to 30 features as well, so this will form a feature vector, and this feature vector as a combination or a single feature vector also can be compared with the trained patterns. So recognition results would be the most similar features which are there in the trained model. So compare it with the trained patterns and the most similar features having to which pattern that will be identified. So the approach taken by the system for automatic speech recognition is very simple. That is pattern recognition, but it is not done on the physical level. That is done on the transformed features. This is the architecture of automatic speech recognition. So the input to the system is a speech signal. Of course, the speech signal here is divided into small fragments, that is 20 to 30 milliseconds fragments, and this will undergo a feature extraction phase. Around 20 to 30 features will be extracted. So once you extract the features, you will be getting a feature vector xi, means you have xi1 xi2 etc xi29, so let's say 30 features. So this feature vector is passed to two phases. Here we have an identification phase and a decoding phase. So in the first phase and the second phase, we may use a hidden Markov model or a neural network. In the decoding phase also, you can use hidden Markov model or neural network, maybe a different hidden Markov model and a different neural network. So taken this feature vector, we need to compare the feature vector with the trained patterns. So you should have an acoustic model, that is it contains different patterns, the patterns for different sounds. So let's say this feature vector corresponding to the first sound, second sound, third sound, etc. So it will compare with all the acoustic models, and it should also have a vocabulary of words, so that this a sound is not an independent sort of thing. It should be compared with the vocabulary, or it should be part of a word or a sentence, something like that. So that should also be considered. So this Hedda-Markov model or the neural network, it uses two entities here: an acoustic model which contains all the trained patterns of the sounds, and a vocabulary of words. So based on that, it will find out what is the probability that this particular feature vector corresponding to a phoneme. So this is corresponding to different phonemes. So phoneme probabilities will be identified. So once you get the phoneme probabilities, that will be given to a decoding stage. The decoding stage also will use the vocabulary and a language grammar or a, language model or a grammar. So using a language model or grammar, you can actually decode the phonemes into a word or some sound, etc. So out of this decoding phase, you what you're going to get is a word, actually, or word or sentence. So it can be like using this phoneme probabilities, you find out this word and you have a next word. So based on that, you can check using your grammar whether the first and second word, the second word can follow the first word or not. So using that also, that sort of things also can be done in the case of decoding. So from that, the most probable word or sentence will be identified, something like this at 8 o'clock. So this sort of a sentence will be identified. So a speech signal, feature extraction phase, different features will be extracted. It will be represented as a feature vector. It will go into a phoneme identification phase using acoustic model. It will go from there, it will go to a decoding stage where most probable here in both these phases, these two are statistical approaches. In both the phases, both the states, you are going to get probability values, probabilities of phonemes, here also probabilities of words or sentences. Speech signal can be spectral decomposed like this, so that you can. So this is a nice representation of speech signal, as it is can be used for identifying different, or it's a representation of the features itself. This is called spectral feature vector. So this is the microphone or speech signal you have, and this speech signal is converted into, or it is called the spectral decomposition. It gives you it is splitting your speech signal into different frequencies, that is from 0 to 4000. So that's a popular way to illustrate features by using spectral decomposition, decomposed into different frequencies from 0 to 4000 hertz, and use color coding to represent the spectral energy, so that an image recognition can be applied on this to identify different features. We usually use this to make the speech visible. So in order to make the speech visible, a spectral decomposition with color coding can be used. Other features can be identified by using methods like Fourier spectrum, and by using excitation and vocal tract modulation, etc. So the first step in speech recognition is identification of or extraction of features. The exact word used to be used is feature extraction. So extract information that allows differentiating between sounds, whereas you should not consider any features that are differentiating between different speakers, different recording conditions, etc. Only consider those type of information which are representative of the linguistic information in the speech signal. So the first idea is to use the Fourier spectrum analysis, in which you will be able to identify something like what is the frequency uh, values, etc. So different frequency levels can be used for a male speaker and a female speaker. So that sort of things can be identified. A second idea is to use separation of excitation and vocal tract modulation, and this can be further improved by considering the hearing characteristics. Hearing characteristics can be applied on that, and so by using all these methods, it's possible to identify different features that are that represents the linguistic information, or that differentiates between different sounds. So once the features are identified, the aim is to do the classification of features. So you have a feature vector now. So now you classify this feature vector into you have phonemes here, as we have seen in this. So here this feature vector is given to a statistical model, hidden Markov model, or a neural network. Both are statistical models. Here you have different phonemes. So into that phonemes you classify. So any one of this to that classification is done, and to recognize phonemes to words and sentences. So classification, then recognize into phonemes, words and sentences. The two approaches used as a hidden Markov model and a neural network, both are statistical approaches. Both are going to calculate the probability that a feature vector is related to a phoneme. Both methods are statistical approaches. It calculates the probability that a feature vector is what is the probability that a feature vector is related to a phoneme. So this is a simple discrete hidden Markov model, which as a sample you can see this. So let's say it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states, and each of these states has got there are state transition probabilities. This is the transition probability from state 1 to state 2, and transition probability from state 2 to state 3, state 3 to state 4, and so on. And this is the emission probability. So emission probability is also given. So here these are the emission probabilities. The emission probability of H here is 1. The emission probability of E is 0.8. The emission probability of A is 0.2, and so on. So using this model, it is possible to identify the word HEBEN with some probability, like you can calculate it as the product of what is the probability that it emits 1. So it is 1 into the transition from 1 to 2, that is zero point 0.4, into E is 0.8, so into 0.8 into the transition 0.2 into 1 into 0.6 into 1 into 0.5 into 0.6. So this is the probability that it emits, or it identifies a word HEBEN. So this sort of representation, or this sort of method is used for automatic speech recognition using discrete hidden Markov model. In case of continuous phonemes, so let's say you have, this is the case of a discrete method where we have different phonemes for different states. But let's say in case of continuous phoneme HMM, you will have to consider all the phonemes that are related to this state. So let's say these phonemes are related to this state, these phonemes are related to the state 2, and these phonemes are related to state 3, and so on. So it will be like the phoneme probability, that is this probability into the state, that is into 0.2, that is the probability that it stays in the state, then into this probability, then stays in the same state, then in this probability into this state, then the transition, then all these probabilities. So like that, in case of a continuous phoneme HMM, that is how it is calculated. So this is the emission probability of this phoneme, emission probability of this phoneme, emission probability of this phoneme, and all for all that it has to stay in the same state. So that should be multiplied. So using k number of phonemes like this, this is how a continuous phoneme HMM works. So that was about hidden Markov model way of identifying the phonemes. Now we'll think about the neural network way of identifying it. So let's take a very simple neural network with single layers. There is a single layer perceptron. You have a you have a feature vector x0, x1, etc., xn minus 1. You give it to a function, and this function will give you a value y. Y can be into a positive class or a negative class, so that this can specify whether it belongs to this phoneme or whether it does not belongs to this phoneme. So it's like a classification problem, like it belongs to a phoneme A or phoneme B. So this in two dimension it can be a line, in three dimension it will be a plane, in multiple dimension it will be a hyperplane. That's it. But anyway, it is going to be a parallel hyperplane which divides your data into two parts like this, which can be y can be into a positive class or negative class. So this is a function used. It is the sum of uh, I equal to 0 to n minus 1 wi, the weighting factor, into xi. So x0 into w0, x then x1 into w1. So it is w0 x0 plus w1 x1 plus etc. up to wn minus 1 xn minus 1 minus theta, where theta is the bias. So you will be having a bias also here. So that product is applied on a function, and that function is going to give you whether it is going to be the positive class or negative class. So usually done method is by using multi-layer perceptrons, because here we need to have given an input feature vector. You should be able to say whether it belongs to the first phoneme, second phoneme, third phoneme, etc., instead of saying that it is belongs to one or two, that is whether it belongs to the phoneme or not belongs to this, something like that. So instead of giving it a positive or negative class, you can say whether it belongs to the phoneme y0, phoneme y1. So these are the different output phonemes, and these are the input features. So based on these input features, we'll use a set of hidden layers here. So this is the input layer, this is the output layer, and these are the hidden layers. So a set of hidden layers with fully connected hidden layers, and using that you can get. So this is a combination of several single layer perceptrons. So like all these things into one will be a single layer perceptron. All these things into a one another single layer perceptron. Again it will be added to a hidden layer. Again it will be added into a hidden layer, and so on. So at the end what you're getting is whether the input feature belongs to the output phoneme y0, output phoneme 1 is this probability, output phoneme 2 is this probability, and so on. So these are the output probabilities you are getting. So based on that, you can say whether this belongs to a particular phoneme or not. So in automatic speech recognition, the second stage is a decoding stage, where it is required to use grammar or language models. Different language models have been used in different implementations. Two major types used is a context-free grammar and a statistical language model. And the commonly used method is a statistical language model. In a context free grammar, as you know, grammar will be specified, and using that grammar the word order etc. can be checked. Statistical language model means probabilities of the sequence of one word, two word, three word, etc., or unigram, bigram, trigram, n-grams, etc., can be calculated. That is determined by counting the frequencies of words in a large corpora. But there is a difficulty that there can be a speaker who gives you who make a speech which is not at all there in the corpora. So that sort of sentences a speaker can make, and this will not be able to, you may not be able to find out a probability for that sequence of words. So if it identifies three words, then trigram frequency can be identified by using a large corpora. So let's say you have two sequence of words, and the first sequence of word has got some 0.8 probability, and the second sequence of words has got some 0.2 probability, then the first sequence of words can be used. So that is what you mean by statistical language model. So the usually used method is a statistical language model in case of automatic speech recognition. Now let's talk about the evaluation, the scoring of recognition results. The performance is strongly depends on the recognition task and circumstances. The common metrics used is word error rate and word accuracy. Word error rate and word accuracy. For example, the word error rate is the number of words that is substituted, SW, number of words that is inserted, number of words that is deleted divided by the total number of words. That is what you mean by word error rate, and word accuracy is 1 minus word error rate. So word error rate is the number of words substituted plus number of words inserted plus number of words deleted divided by the total number of words. For example, let's say you have a sentence like the dog saw the cat. Then the number of words substituted is instead of that dog, the system has inserted the system has translated it as the cat saw the cat, something like that. Then the substituted word is dog, so one word is substituted, so that count will be added. Along with that, for example, the system translated it as the blue dog saw the cat, something like that. Then a word blue is inserted, right? So that is the number of words inserted. If the translation has deleted some words from the spoken text, spoken stream, then we can say that is the number of deleted words. So it is substituted words plus inserted word plus deleted words divided by the total number of words, that is mean by the word error rate, and word accuracy is 1 minus word error rate. So that's all about automatic speech recognition from an audio signal. Let's say you have the visual or the video of the speech also, then you can actually augment your results by adding something known as AVSR, that is audio visual speech recognition. By using the visual aspects also, or visual features also can be included for identifying the speech. So you can use methods which human uses. Human lip reading is one method, that is it facilitates the recognition of sounds which are otherwise difficult to differentiate. Means that, for example, a human the sound between D and B can be easily identified if you have a mechanism for lip reading, and sound between M and N can be similar by for hearing, but the using lip reading, using visual patterns or visual features, you can easily identify that. So you can use this for um, the same idea for a machine, so that you use symbol image recognition sort of task, that is called machine lip reading, that is analysis of a rectangular area around mouth, that is including the chin. The task is comparable to automatic speech recognition, and this is called AVSR, audio visual speech recognition. The first step is to identify the face area, that can be identified by using different rule based methods or determination of invariant features and statistical classification, or it can be a pattern comparison or color, etc. So, or a combination of all these things. Like pattern means you will have a pattern for eyes, nose, and lip. You may be having rule based means you can specify this is the shape, etc. So or color also can be a factor. So all these can be used, or a combination of this can be used for identifying the face. once the Once the face is identified, then you can determination of regions of interest in the face. The regions of interest in the face is the main region of interest in the face is the mouth itself. So you can identify mouth, nose, eyes, etc. This is a paper which I have taken this image from. That is region of interest extraction examples. So once you identify the lips from the face, then you can use the lip contours. This also taken from the same paper. So use the lip contour to identify find out different shapes or different by using that lip contours you can say which which sound was spoken. So that's about audio visual speech recognition. So from ASR to and lip reading to AVSR, you can use a fusion of acoustic and video information. The two possibilities are on the feature level, you extract audio features and video features and combine these two things together into a classifier. You can do like that, or on the level of probabilities, like audio features you create a classifier, video features you create a classifier, you integrate these two classifier results together. Something like, for example, this classifier has given you two probabilities, that is the sound can be A or E, point 0.7 and point 0.3, and video feature has given you the probability that this is 0.99 and the second one is 0.99 and the first one is 0.001. 0.01. So you can clearly say that even if your audio features were giving the for the first one point 0.7 as the probability, you can clearly correct your result by using the video features. So these are the two possibilities to construct an audiovisual speech recognition. So that's about automatic speech recognition. As we have seen, automatic speech recognition is the recognition of or the transformation of the speech signal into a spoken text. The first step is feature extraction. The output is a feature vector like this. Then it will go to an identification stage and a decoding stage. Identification and decoding stage can use hidden Markov model or neural networks. Identification stage uses phonemes here, and it will identify a phoneme probabilities. And in the decoding stage, it will use a language model or a grammar and vocabulary. And using that decoding stage, it can identify most probable words or sequence of words. So that's all about automatic speech recognition. Thank you.